Well, let's review our Sunday school lesson for today. We are in our summer quarter for June, July, and August, entitled Confident Hope. And we are in unit number 1 for the month of June, entitled Jesus Teaches About Faith, in which we're looking at getting hope and faith through Jesus' miracles and teachings. Today we're looking at lesson number 4 for June 27th, 2021, entitled An Amazing Feat. Our printed text today is Matthew chapter 14, verse number 22 through 33. Let's look at our lesson today. Again, we join the disciples of Jesus on the water in a boat. Amen. Today we again return to the disciples out on the sea. And in our setting today, after a day of teaching, Jesus sends his disciples on across to the other side. And as he sends them aside, sends them to go on ahead to go to the other side, Jesus goes alone into a mountain and prays. And while he is praying, the Bible gives us a little context and says that the disciples at the same time were in the midst of a sea tossed with the waves. While Jesus is praying in the mountain alone, talking to God, the Bible tells us that the disciples are out at sea being tossed with the waves. I want to pause here and interject something, because there's two ways that you can be in life. There's two ways you can be in life. With everything that's going on, there are two ways you can be. One, you can either be like Jesus and be in prayer with the Father, or you can be like the disciples who are tossed about with all of the happenings of life. There's two ways we can be in life. We can either be like Jesus with everything that's going on, we steal away and pray, or we can be like the disciples who are tossed with the happenings of this life. If you feel like the disciples every now and then, the good news is in the stories that just before dawn, Jesus comes walking on the water. And I think it's worth noting again that the disciples, upon seeing Jesus, cried out in fear again. Do you hear them? They began to say, "It's a ghost." And they were afraid. But thank God for Peter. Peter spoke out by faith and said, "Master, if it's you, tell me to come to you." And Jesus said, "Come," and Peter did the miraculous. He walked on the water. And he only began to sink when he took his eyes off of Jesus. Now, I want to encourage us today about what faith can do in our lives. And faith in God, number one, can make you pray. Things are going on in your life, good, bad, happy, or sad. Faith will make you stay in communication, talking to God. Faith in God, secondly, it will cause you to walk on what could drown you. Troubles and trials and tribulations that could overcome you, sweep you away, that you could succumb to. When you put your faith in God, you can walk on water. You can walk and cross over the very things that were supposed to drown you. And all we have to do is to keep our focus on God. Keep faith in Him through the midst of everything we go through, and keep hope in Him that He is able to see us through it. And if we do that, we can see God by faith do some things in our lives that we could have never, ever imagined or dreamed of. I pray today that your faith in God is being strengthened even as you keep your hope in him, knowing that he is God and God all by himself. Glory be to God for what great things he has done.